what we are seeing, the musical performances, the trip, the tour. Now, I want to ask you about speaking English. Before I met you, I always have uh, this notion in my mind that children born in places like Greece and places like that, that they would find it difficult to speak English.
You mean African children,
African
African parents?
African children. But
Or you're talking of the ones from Nigeria and West Africa, the ones that speak English. You're not talking about Gabon or Congo.
the one that are coming from West Africa, most especially, that were born there, and English is not. I've met a lot of children that their parents now they're already grown up, and their parents now have to start teaching them, maybe bring them to Dublin, to London, to learn English. So, your musical career, how with the English, tell us about it. Tell us how you were able to, overcome that and see it as a strength to you.
Well, the thing is that my parents always wanted me to know English, to know how to speak English. I know that that is a common thing, that when they hear you that you're from Greece, they'll say, she don't know how to speak English. But the truth is that my parents taught me how to speak English. Of course, that time in Greece, they didn't have the full lecture of how to know how to speak English. Like, we'll know the basic things like fruits, how are you, this is good, this is that. Then I'll come to my house and my parents will tell me, this is how it's supposed to be, this is how high it's supposed to be. And even by watching Nigerian movies, is still helpful, because you will know how your roots is. Like, you will know how to speak the English and the Pidgin English. You understand? Just to know how to communicate with your Nigerian roots. So it's not quite long when the educational aspect place in Greece started giving more attention to English. Right now, they are teaching English fully, but my time was not like that so much.
Okay, so obviously
and also we went to private schools, so that really helped. My parents put us into private schools so that there would be more English teaching, because that time in some governments they won't so much pay attention to it. So it's more in the private place that they would give attention to English, because it's a private school, so they want everybody to know everything.
Okay. So you speak, obviously you are fluent in Greek. You are fluent Greek, and then you speak English, and you speak Nigerian Pidgin English. You understand your dad's language a bit and your mom's language. So tell us about that. How many languages do you speak at home, and how do you communicate at home, especially when other people are around there?
Okay. Well, we don't want anybody to know anything. We mix everything up. The person that does that so much is my dad. Like, he can mix a sentence with Greek, English, Asian, and Benin. He does that a lot. So we laugh at him a lot of times about that. But it's a very good thing, because sometimes it's very helpful when we don't want anybody to know what we are saying.
But there was a time they also used it against you, the children, when mom and dad will speak and they don't want you to hear.
Yeah, I think when they were doing that, I was more paying attention to what they were, how they were doing their hands and everything. So I was one of the children that when they were saying things that they didn't want us to understand, I was paying attention so I can understand some certain things, because we usually watch Benin movies and Asian movies. So, in those movies, there is translation. Now there's more translation. That time there was not so much, because there was not YouTube. So when we have CDs and everything, I'll just sit down and pay attention to what they're saying, how they're explaining it, about their emotions. Then that's when I will understand that, okay, maybe that is what she's saying and that is what they're saying. Okay. So it's helped me a lot. We really watch movies in this house.
Yeah, that's very good. Now let's look at life in Greece. You are an artist, and your primary base is Greece. how have they received you?
Yeah.
And how do you feel living in Greece?
Well, it is my country. I was born there. It depends, in my career, certain people really supported me. That's the truth, because I started here. I started as a front woman in a local band, sold out for 3 years here. So when I started going solo 2019, they still supported me. Certain people supported me. Like I said, not everybody will like me, and that's the truth. That's the true fact. But from my solo career to now, there have been certain support from a lot of Greek people.
Oh boy.
So I'm very pleased that you know you have grown in your music career, and you're performing, and you have ambitions. So tell us something. Something you released a new single this week. Is it this week? Yes, I think I got that. Yeah. So this single is more. I find it. I find this single which you're going to introduce, and probably we'll see a snippet of it from the producer for us to show people live, and then give them the details of where they can find that single. It's something that appealed to me, that looked up to me differently. It's very Afrobeat. It's connected to Africa. And do you want to tell us about this new single? What is it called? Pepper Dem?
Yeah, Pepper Dem.
Okay. Now, this is a slang that was popular in Nigeria last year. It's a slogan. Pepper Dem. What do you understand? What do you think? What does it say? Why? What are you saying?
All right. The story behind Pepper Dem. Do you want to say how it was created, or what is the story first about?
I just want to hear everything.
Okay. First of all, the story starts of the creation of Pepper Dem. One night, my brother called me and he said, "We need to write something huge." I always wanted to write an anthem for Black women. So I was like, okay, let's go. My brother had already written a half lyric for me. And I said, okay. He said, we need something bouncy. So we usually, when we want to create something, we start from the ground. So we started looking for beats, something that would be similar to what we have. We knew kind of the melodies and everything. I had few months before on my keyboard something that I put like an melody. It was more like a metal. So he said that is a nice intro. I have something with intros. I like when I bring out a song to have a huge intro at the beginning. So we started listening to the song. I put this first verse, which was my brother's. Then after the continuation of the song, I started writing on my own. So we loved it, and we write it inside 1 hour. Then we were sure that song is ready, and we said something is missing. We called our parents the next day and we said, we need you people to write your own dialect in this song. So my dad wrote his own, my mom wrote her own. So then during the pandemic, we flew to France to meet our French producers early October. They really brought the song to life. I and Shawan Desi, because they are called Shawan Desi, they are made of, they are two people in the band. The producers, I mean. And we produced it together, I and Shawan Desi. I wanted it to sound original, clean, and authentic. So that's how you people now listen to Pepper Dem. The story behind it is that it's my own story. Anything I'm going to write or sing is about me. That is saying Black female voice on the rise. I'm talking about me, but also I'm empowering women and Black women. Of course, all women in general, but especially Black women, because I feel a lot of times we are underrated and we are portrayed as harsh and uneducated. And when we are confident, they say we are too confident. When we are sassy, they will say we are too sassy. When we want to speak up, they will like, no, you don't know what you're saying. So every time in my own career, whenever like they see me going up and taking a step further, they will kind of look for me and check me out. That is when I know that it's Pepper Dem. If you know that you don't care about that person, then just leave it. But seeing that anything I'm doing, you want to see what I'm doing. That means it's peppering you. So that's what I'm telling all my Black women, pepper them. And no matter what you want to do, put God first and overcome everything.